Guys, we have this question here to solve. A right triangle has sides of length 2 square root of 2, 6 square root of 2, and square root of 80 units. All right? What is the area of the triangle in square units? So we want to find the area of the triangle. So the one thing that we need to learn to know is the formula for the area of a triangle. So that's 1. 2, we are dealing in a right triangle. That's what we're dealing with. So a right triangle, how does it look like? So I'm going to do this one here. So a right triangle, very quickly, is something like this. Okay? So this is how it looks like. And then we have 90 degrees here. So this got to be 90 degrees, meaning this is, vertical, this is horizontal, straight up. Okay? So now what do we know about, right triangle? Right triangle, we know that C, so if we call this side here A, B, and C, correct? So we know that C squared equals to A squared plus B squared. All right, so we have the hypotenuse here, we have the opposite side, and then we have the adjacent, correct? So the hypotenuse square is equal to square of the adjacent plus square of the opposite side. All right, so we have 3 of these sides here. So which one is which one? Okay, so that's actually where the question, belongs. Because remember, now the other thing that we need is area, which is what? A half of base times the height. Okay, so that's the base times the height. So as we know all of this, so which one is going to be the base, which one is going to be the height? This is going to be the base, and this is going to be the height. So in this problem here, we do not need the C. Okay? All right, this side. So which one is we? So 2 square root of 2. As we can see, this side, the adjacent side is smaller. So 2 square root of 2, we have 6 square root of 2. Between these two, this one is smaller. Correct? So already, we can begin to think that the adjacent side A is 2 square root of 2. And then this one is 6 square root of 2. But for us to be sure about it, both of them, if you take each of them, square of them, you add them up together, you should be able to get square root of 2 of 80. Okay, which is one over here. So we can do that here. We don't need to do that. I just want to prove it. Okay, because in this case, you wouldn't have time to do all of this. All right. So let's go for it. So you're doing C squared then. So if you're doing this one here, so this one is going to be, so you have C squared is what? So that means if we decide that this might be your C, so that will give us what? 80. Square that should be equal to what? 2 square root of 2, square that plus 6 square root of 2. Square that one. All right? So what's happening here? So what is square root of 80 squared? This is going to be gone, so you end up with 80. And then this one is going to be what? Square root of 2 squared is what? It's 4 times. So if you square this one also, the 2 will be gone, so that means 2 only left. Okay? Then plus, what is square root of 6 squared? It's going to give us 36. Then you multiply that by square root, and then the 2 out also. This one is also 2. So 80 equals to what? So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 36 times 2 is what? 72. If you add 8 and 72, this is 80. So that means it is true that this is then your hypotenuse, C. So you don't need the C in this case, right? Because the base is this one here, and then this is the height. So let's go for it. So A equals to what? So we have half times the base, which is 2 square root of 2, times the height, which is what? Which is 6 square root of 2. Okay? So that would give us what? So half times all of these things. So what can we do here to make our lives a lot easier? 2 crossed out. So you end up that you multiply square root of 2 times 6 square root of 2. Okay? And how are we doing that? We know that square root of 2 times square root of 2 is going to give us 2. And then 6 is by itself, because 6 times 1, that's the invisible one in front of this one here. So that stays a 6. And then you multiply 2 by 2 inside, right? So that would give us what? That would give us 6 square root of 4, and square root of 4 is 2. So you end up with 6 times 2, which is 12. So that means your area is equals to 12, and then 12 what? Square unit. Square unit. And then which one is the answer here? That's B here. All right. So again, I'm taking my time here to explain you what's really happening here and how you're getting the answer. But if you are going for the test, you got to be faster when it comes to doing the problem by identifying, for example, that this side here is the A, like how we did it also. The edge is in here. This side here is the B. And then this one here is your hypotenuse, C. And then automatically you go with the area, which is equal to 1 over 2 times B times H. Okay? Then you do your multiplication. So you do not actually need this one like this, but you can do it very quickly, even on top of your head if you can. But if you cannot, you can take your paper and then do it. And then, this is your final answer here. All right? So we good? Okay.